This is the morning edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, June the 17th. I'm James Spann. Pretty typical mid-June weather coming up for the state through midweek, then some gradual changes by the weekend and next week. Let's discuss. We'll check out the big picture. And that really tells a nice story. That's the way things look this morning. At 500 millibars, the contours, and we've got the water vapor satellite view on top of that. Really a very impressive trough for the season over the western states. That's one of the reasons we had the big tornado outbreak in Nebraska and Iowa last night. You can see storms this morning in advance of that over parts of the Midwest and around the Great Lakes. And, of course, down here we've got the ridge, a 588 ridge, keeping storms very widely separated. There's a look at the storm reports with the trough yesterday. 32 tornado reports. It doesn't mean 32 tornadoes. That's 32 tornado reports. They'll get the specific numbers after the storm surveys. And many storms with hail and strong winds up and through there. Check the watch warning map this morning. Out west, interesting, we've got some freeze warnings in effect. Those darker shades in parts of Nevada and Wyoming and Oregon. It's pretty interesting for mid-June. Red flag warnings for parts of the southwest United States, including much of Arizona, for wildfire danger because of the very low dew points and wind. And then up north, a tornado watch until 9 o'clock this morning. That includes the city of Chicago and the city of Milwaukee for storms in advance of that big trough. The overall severe weather threat today, running from Montana and Wyoming over to parts of Pennsylvania and New York. It includes a pretty good chunk of the Great Lakes. Day 2 tomorrow, pretty much the same zone. Risk of severe storms from the Great Plains through the Great Lakes over to the Jersey Shore. And on day 3, which is Thursday, no formal risks. We have the low end 5% possibility from Minnesota down to West Texas. Here's the rain for the next 5 days, valid through Sunday morning. And, of course, the organized rain is up north. And for us, these maps don't help a lot because every day the variation is huge from point A to point B. For example, yesterday in Tarrant, they had flooding with over 1 inch of rain. But just down the road at downtown Birmingham, not a drop of rain. And that's the way it works with these summer storms. Tropics in the Atlantic Basin remain very quiet. Tropical storm formation is not expected through the week. This is the GFS, the Global Forecast System. The OZ run valid this afternoon at 1 o'clock local time. This is at 500 millibars. There's a big trough in the west. We've got the upper high basically on top of Atlanta today. And there's no reason to think today will be any different from yesterday. The high will be at or maybe just over 90. Model guidance is too hot. They've got us up in the mid-90s. It won't be that hot today, but it'll be warm enough. And yes, those popcorn afternoon storms. This is the HRRR model today at 18Z. That's 1 o'clock, and looks like the radar has the measles. Will the rain be exactly in those locations? No, but the radar will look something like that. And if you like to play the numbers game, the odds game, the chance of your spot getting wet about 1 in 5 today. And because the winds aloft are light, where the storms pop up, they don't move. And if you're underneath one, you might get an inch of rain, but many people will get nothing today. And that's the formula for midweek. This is tomorrow, and this is Thursday. Each day, the hit and miss, widely scattered afternoon storms. Otherwise, partly to mostly sunny, highs in the low 90s. And really Friday, no big change. All right, weekend fans, what do you say? This is a look at Saturday, and we'll go back in the upper levels. And the upper high is in retrogression. It's beginning to drift to the west. You can see that big upper low that's on the Canadian border. That's going to dent that thing down a little bit, and small variations can make a pretty big difference in the coverage of storms. Slight changes in the temperatures aloft. When it gets a little colder up there, it tends to make the air more unstable. So we're thinking Saturday we'll start to see an increase in the number of afternoon storms. And that's not to say it's going to be a rainy day. It's not. But clearly there's a chance of a storm or two. And the same thing on Sunday. Highs for the weekend. Again, I'd say at or just over 90. Partly sunny with a few scattered afternoon storms. And then Monday of next week, a surface boundary approaches from the north. And that should give us an even higher coverage of showers and storms. Highs probably go back in the upper 80s. And the same thing on Tuesday, a week from today. Pretty decent chance we'll see a few storms during the day. So the pattern for at least the first half of next week looks not as hot and trending wetter. June the 29th, pretty good little surface low on the Ohio River with a trailing batch of storms down and through here. And this is July the 2nd. We got the Bermuda Ridge-looking thing there, 594 heat ridge over the Atlantic, kind of nosing in here from the east, but we're on the periphery of that. And down below that, that looks pretty routine. Very warm, very muggy with a few scattered showers and storms about. You know that deal. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes on the blog. The next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. Can catch us this evening on the live stream of the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great Tuesday, and God bless.